Hey, what is up? Andrew, it is YouTube here. We are back with some more Greyson Nekrutman.
We're not worthy!
Hot on the heels of the Caravan video, which was a few days ago now, which was
the cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Just completely mind-blowing. I need to check out, he did the Whiplash drum solo. I'm assuming it's the final, the big, climax ending of the film. Now, I did see the film a couple of years ago now. Really enjoyed it. Not actually that dissimilar to actually going to jazz school. Give or take a little bit of abuse. But yeah, it's I actually really enjoyed it. There was a lot of mixed feedback from musicians on that film. Oh, that film's ridiculous. That's not the way to teach. Yeah, I think you guys kind of missed the point. It's actually a very relatable film if you have done a jazz degree. So I really enjoyed it. And Grayson did comment on the previous video, which blew my mind. And I thank Grayson for being such a good sport and allowing me to drool over his ridiculous jazz chops. We're going to get right into it. Remember, Grayson is one of the active coaches over at Drumeo. And you.
We're looking for you.
Yeah, you.
We gonna find you. I'm letting you know now.
And you.
So you can run and tell that.
All of you can pick up your free 30-day trial. Over at Drumeo, just follow my link in the description of the video. 30 days free. You can learn off Grayson. Are you kidding me? And of course, guys, original video links in the description of each video. Of course, go along, support Grayson. I'm subscribed to Grayson. Go along, support him, give him some love, tell him how amazing he is. Now, with that said, let's check out Greyson Nekrutman playing the Whiplash drum solo. Let's check it out. Oh, those hands. Oh. Now, Miles Teller, the actor in the small box, Miles Teller's face, keep an eye on Miles Teller's face during the solo. That was me for 3 years at jazz school. I was am no Greyson Nekrutman. Just going to put that out there for real. That's some Tony Williams kind of. What is that supposed to be? Sweat on his right cymbal there? Yeah, that was me crying. Jazz school. Grayson's hand stick control, hands, unbelievable. He's watching the solo. He's watching the screen the whole time. Grayson just dripping with sweat. Man, he does not go in half-hearted. J.K. Simmons was brilliant in this one. So was Miles Teller. Oh. Wow, look at Grayson's left hand. My God. Ah, my Lord Grayson. Lord Grayson. Lord Grayson. That's what we're going to call him from now on. Lord Grayson. Look, if you're not already subscribed, I'm going to head down here. As you can see, I'm subscribed. Please do go along and support Grayson. And as I said at the start of the video, you can get free lessons with Greyson Nekrutman. Follow my link, a free 30-day trial with Drumeo. Check it out, a full month to explore the site, transcriptions, all kinds of stuff. Go and get on it. Okay, so my question for Grayson, I've got so many questions. Grayson, we need to do an interview. I do have a podcast, the NZ Drummer Podcast. I've had lots of amazing guests, Benny Greb, Ash Sohn, plenty of incredible guests. We should chat on there. Grayson, if you are watching right to the end of this video, my question for you, maybe you just want to answer this in the comment section. It's a real simple question. Some people will laugh at me for this question, but how did you learn this solo? In terms of what was your strategy for learning a solo? Did you transcribe it? I mean, I can see that you weren't, well, I couldn't see a transcription. I saw you watching the video. You know, when we had transcription assignments at jazz school, you'd often almost memorize them anyway. So did you transcribe this and memorize it? Did you not transcribe it at all? You just learnt it by ear? Totally possible as well. I would just love to know your method for learning something as difficult to play as that. Because that, I mean, I don't even know how you could transcribe it. It's an open solo. There's no real underlying consistent tempo there. You know, how you would work out the rests and whatnot. Or is it just purely a visual thing and did it off the movie? I'm not sure. And then just with regards to Grayson's drumming, it's just, I think what amazes me with Grayson, I mean, I said on the previous one, it's the passion, it's the fire. It's that old school jazz passion and fire. People probably often think of jazz as almost like wallpaper kind of music. You know, you dress up in your suits and you play nice, polite, like polite, you know, swing feels for people while they're eating their steaks at a cafe. Real jazz is not really like that. It's fiery, it's loud. People often talked about guys like Tony Williams that use like 2 Bs, like tree trunk sticks, and smash the cymbals. Alvin Jones, Art Blakey, all of these guys, you watch them play, they're dripping in sweat. They're really, really in the moment. They're not taking any prisoners. They take the music dead serious. Grayson's full-blown from that lineage of real deal jazz players. There's a real almost contradiction I find with him, that he is so young. To me, he's so young, 19 years old, and he's playing in this really trad style, even with the trad grip, which you don't, I guess, see a heck of a lot these days. So very clearly influenced by the masters, by the older jazz masters, and he plays pretty traditional. I'm not saying he cannot play in like a modern, always think of it like a modern ECM jazz style. But yeah, what I've seen of him so far has been very trad. So it's all just very surprising. And he always looks really smart in a suit or like collared shirt. Yeah, he's really drawing on that old school jazz lineage, and I absolutely love it. It's very easy with someone like this to get caught up in the chops and the speed, and I mentioned, wow, look at his hands, he's employing some really crazy finger technique. I don't play any traditional grip at all these days. I actually went through my whole jazz degree playing traditional grip. Cannot play it at all now. It's embarrassingly bad now. Don't even ask for a traditional grip demo. But all of his technique and chops aside, in the end, it's the musicality. It's his musical choices. I know this is essentially playing a transcription, but he's just such a musical guy. I mean, to even have the ear, to either play this by ear or have the ear to transcribe this, you're going to have some pretty serious facility and some pretty serious ears. And I've mentioned a few times, I think on this video already, that I did go to jazz school. I have a jazz degree from the Auckland University jazz program here in New Zealand. And yeah, I was sort of semi-joking that, Whiplash is like jazz school. Obviously, the experience is different for everybody. And it's really hard to explain, actually, what jazz school is like. And I heard a lot of civilians talking about the film. And, oh, yeah, that film was pretty good. But yeah, it's a bit over the top. And it's like, you haven't been to jazz school, have you? So jazz school is very, very competitive. I was sort of thinking of this the other day. It's a little bit like Top Gun. You've got all of these really, really serious musicians who are clearly committed, or they wouldn't be dedicating 3 years of their life and paying good money to do that. You've got to be very committed to do that in the first place, right? And there is a little bit of a Top Gun vibe about it that it's pretty brutal. And there were so many occasions where, for want of a better term right here, right now, you're essentially humiliated. It's all for the betterment of yourself as a player. You very, very quickly lose the ego. If you think you're pretty hot stuff and you go into some demanding musical course like a jazz degree, your ego will get crushed pretty quick. You're always going to have star students, of course. And some people did come into the course already very, very high level and well into a professional music career, when they're in their first year of jazz school. I wasn't one of those guys. I was pretty green. Went in without a lot of music theory at all. It was actually surprising that I passed the audition, but I worked really, really hard. Nowhere near the young jazz star that Greyson Nekrutman is. I'm not even going to pretend to be that. I'm always going to be totally honest on this channel. But I'm pretty proud to say that I think I can honestly say I probably worked as hard as anyone who did the jazz degree. So to put this into context, you're in that building 7 days a week. I used to arrive when the doors opened, which were 8 a.m. I'd catch the 7 o'clock bus, 8 a.m. and the doors would shut at 11 p.m. So I would pretty much be there from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. every night. Various papers. So you're not just playing the drums all the time in a combo like you see on Whiplash. You're doing all kinds of other stuff. Transcription, exercises, theory classes. Everybody has to learn a little bit of piano. Everyone has to learn a bit of tuned percussion if you're a drummer. Composition, arranging, all kinds of stuff. I was, as I said, not a star student. I would be sitting there during those composition classes and just begging that, the teacher wouldn't ask me to go through the circle of fifths or say how many sharps are an F sharp. I don't know. But yeah, it's a full immersion thing. And the movie Whiplash. I don't know if there's a lot of people who have been to jazz school out there watching this video, but I would love your feedback on where you went to music school and what you thought of Whiplash. Did you think it was just ridiculous and over the top, or did you think, well, actually, it's not? It's actually pretty close to the real thing. I don't say this as a slight on my teachers or professors at university. I'm very thankful to them. There's no BS. It's just the harsh reality. And if something's not up to standard, it's not up to standard. We can't, the trainer wheels are off at jazz school. It's you and your ability and your level of commitment and hard work. It's all you, baby. No one is going to be out there playing for you when you have a professional career. I do have a series of videos actually of things I learned at jazz school. If you go back, you'll find a playlist of drum teacher rants and things I learned at jazz school, all sort of just me talking to the camera, live type videos. And there's just so many learnings. The big things were there's nowhere to hide, right? There's absolutely nowhere to hide at jazz school. So you'll be out playing within a few weeks or months in front of the entire school, the honors students, the really, really good players, all the teachers, and you're out there doing a drum solo. And you know what? If you cannot do a drum solo, so who cares? You're doing a drum solo. And then you think, well, I can't do one. And then in the normal civilian world, you would get out of that situation, right? Even if you're a gigging player and you're like, I can hold down a groove, but I'm not a soloist. You get put in that jazz world, solo. Now, and there were some tense moments, where people, your ego is threatened and you're, I guess, exposed in front of the entire class or the entire school. And it can be very, very brutal. One thing that I noticed just in that short clip, I didn't remember a lot of Whiplash that well, but noticing there, J.K. Simmons, how happy he was, and you saw him sort of fade back into the darkness when, was it Andrew? Miles Teller's character? Whoever Miles Teller's, the actual drummer character name. He was clearly just going for it, right? He was lost in the music, not lost. He was just inside the music, and he just went all in. And then you saw J.K. Simmons just drift away. And overall, that was probably one of the biggest takeaways from jazz school was the professors, the instructors, it's hard to explain. Of course, you still need skill. You still need a lot of skill and knowledge that you've built up, but they want you to they want some fire. They want something real, I guess. They don't want you to phone it in and just play spang-a-lang and then like a nice tidy drum solo. No. We want some fire. Just go for it. Push yourself. Raise up the ensemble. Really go in. And bringing this full circle to Grayson, this is Grayson to me. He's someone who is fiery. He draws on those really fiery traditional jazz masters. And those guys did not hold back. Grayson does not hold back. And I've got to be a little bit careful what I say here. He's not afraid to sacrifice a little bit of accuracy, I guess. Well, I'm not saying he's inaccurate, but he's not afraid to sacrifice some of that accuracy for just going in. And that is what I want to see. That's what basically brought a tear to my eye with the Caravan solo. Was it's like, man, I know he can play tidy and clean and perfect, but do we want tidy, clean, and perfect? No, I want to see him pushing himself to that level of breaking point. And I feel like that with Grayson. He's just not afraid to put it all out there and just push. Absolute privilege to watch this young man drum and to be just totally inspired by him. Whew, that was a long rant. Guys, remember, if you do like this channel and you would like to support it, the easiest way to do that is to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Leave me a comment with what you thought of this video or what you would like me to check out in the future. I do have a Patreon group, so if you would like to check out all the blocked videos, you can head along there and find the blocked video link. And requests, normally if you do have a specific request that you definitely want me to do, that is via the PayPal link. And I do have a reaction video playlist, so you can check that out, all the reactions I've done, whole bunch of lessons on my channel as well, and not to mention covers and all kinds of things. Oh boy, I need another coffee after that. Guys, I will catch you on the next one. Take care out there. Cheers. Ciao.